All right. Yo, yo. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you. The godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder. You know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the button. What a way to start this day. Hit the bell icon. The rest will take care of itself. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Got up not too long ago from a rather lengthy power nap. I wish I could have done this earlier. I should have done this as soon as I got out of work. So our European friends can get a chance to catch this live. My apologies for them if they end up catching this on the replay. J Dog, what's up? So what do we got here? Yesterday was a huge day for VR fans. I mean, we got we got the information that a lot of people were waiting for. Jamal Adams, what's up? So yesterday, I guess Facebook had F8, which I was totally oblivious to this. I knew nothing about these yearly, I guess, Facebook keynotes. And the only reason why I even know about it now is because of people like Anthony from VR 365 saying that that's probably when we're going to get release dates and other things for the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S. Greg Harris, is this Mass Effect? Afraid not. How you doing, my friend? And so, I guess Valve pulled a Sony move and jumped in front of the Facebook keynote with pre-orders for the Valve Index, which is what I had been waiting for. I was waiting for that information because I am or was interested in the Valve Index. So I guess to break down the information on these headsets coming up. I think pre-orders for the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S went live yesterday, and it is expected to ship May 21st, I believe, which ironically is the same day that everybody's Golf and Five Nights at Freddy's in VR releases. So both the Oculus Rift S and the Oculus Quest will sell for $400, which I think isn't a bad price at all. I'm just not sure it's going to make a big splash with the mainstream when it first kicks off. But surprisingly, there's been some people that's been talking about getting an Oculus Quest, and they're really excited about it. I mean, Gamertag VR being one of them. He posted a screenshot that he pre-ordered one, but it's really messed up that it said ships, December 31st. So I really hope the Oculus Quest does well, but at the same time, I even heard about a couple of hiccups with the headset. And then we got information on the. Hold on a second. We got information on the Valve Index. Pre-orders went live for that yesterday as well, and I think that ships June 15th, I believe. And I was definitely interested in the Valve Index because I felt like if I was going to upgrade, I thought that was going to be the headset that would be a significant upgrade, but wouldn't cost an arm and a leg. And I was sort of wrong. So the entire bundle cost $1,000, but if you break it down, You can break it down in pieces if you want. The headset alone is $500. The Valve Knuckle controllers, which I am interested in those are $280. And then I think the lighthouses for the Valve Index are $150 each. So it's a little over $1,000 if you break it down and buy it in pieces. $1,000 is a little too rich for my blood after dropping $2,000 on an Alienware computer, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I mean, sure, I could go ahead and buy it right now if I wanted to, and just throw it on some plastic. But hey, I gotta show some discipline here. I think for the price of that Valve Index, I think I could I think just waiting for the PlayStation 5 and the PSVR 2, I think that would be a better move because for the same $1,000 that Valve Index would cost, I would be able to get the PS5 as well as the PSVR 2 for under $1,000. Because I'm guessing that the PS5 is going to cost $500, even though this $400 talk has been going around. If they could get it down to $400, that would be great. One second here. And then I think the Phaedra Socrates, what's up? And then I think the PSVR 2, I think that headset is going to start out at 400, even though some people speculated that it might start at 300, which if it started at 300 for what appears you're going to get, that's going to be an amazing price too. Phaedra Socrates. Um, and that's one of the big things about passing up the Valve Index for $1,000. Um, okay, I definitely wanted to buy another VR headset, and everything that's out there right now, or everything that's on the way, has its pros and its cons. Um, and I think right now, uh, even though it would be kind of a lateral move for me, I think the Oculus Rift S might end up being the best buy. I'm passing on the Valve Index. Sick. Man, that thing is $1,000. The headset by itself is $500, which don't really bother me. The Valve Knuckles is almost $300. It's $280, and then the lighthouses you need to room scale. Those are $150 each, and you're going to need at least two of them to have superior, to have uh, 360 degrees of tracking. Yeah, I see that it's focused on fidelity, but as far as the resolution goes, it's 1600 on the resolution versus the 1440p on the Oculus Rift S. So I feel like the Oculus Rift S might be a better bang for your buck. But again, there's cons to every one of these. 1600 in each eye. Yeah, I mean, that's still a little bit rich for my blood, man. At least for right now. I might end up, my resolution for this issue is actually going to be pretty cheap if I decide to go through with it. But one of the things that I'm thinking about doing right now is actually there's cons to that. Like we'll start with the Oculus Rift S. The Oculus Quest is pretty neat. I hope it does well. But at this moment, I have no intentions of buying it because I don't feel like I get out enough to justify buying one of those, and taking it with me everywhere. Which I will admit, I think it would be pretty cool if I was going on a trip somewhere, or kicking it and spending the night somewhere. I think it would be pretty cool for that. Um, but no, I just don't think I think that money would be better spent somewhere else. You think Pimax is higher than that? Well, I think top dog with Pimax, I think they got 4, 5, and 8K headsets. And not only that, they just came out with new controllers today. I guess they got controllers that look a lot like the Oculus Touch. They got two of them. One is the Pimax Sword, and I guess that one has a touchpad. Yeah, Christopher Hart, that Valve Index for $1,000 is expensive. And then the other Pimax controllers they have is the Sword Sand, something like that. That one has a thumbstick. Hey, sick. I don't even have to do that because it's all over the place that you can play Zelda Breath of the Wild on the PlayStation VR. I guess you could play it on all the headsets. On Oculus and Vive as well. I even saved the video on how to do it through the PlayStation VR. You know, it just looks like you got to unplug a couple of things and, you know, plug them up somewhere else. So, no, but I'll tell you what my solution is here in a minute, Sick, after I go through what I think of the pros and cons of some of these headsets that are coming up. With the Oculus Rift S, you know, it's 1400, 1440 or whatever the place you would not want to play it in VR. And Christopher Hart, you said you could play Switch on PSVR, and you could use PSVR with PC VR. Sony gave us a headset that does it all. Yeah. But I do got a question though, Christopher Hart. What do you do? I mean, do you use the PlayStation camera on PC, or I mean, what do you do for controllers though? Assuming you don't have an Oculus or anything like that. I mean, would you be able to use the PlayStation Move controllers on PC as well? And Top Dog, you have an Oculus Quest pre-order. Is that the only headset that you got? But yeah, going on to the Oculus Rift S. Oh, that's gonna be okay. All right, that's cool. Hope you enjoyed. You know, getting back to the Oculus Rift S again. You know, the 1440p, whatever. Said no, you buy the Oculus controllers by themselves and use those with PSVR, and you don't need the PSVR camera. See, that's right there. Was my concern about the Valve Index right there. I'm wondering if any other controllers would be compatible with them. You have a Lenovo WMR and PSVR. Okay. So my issues with the Oculus Rift S1 is the controllers. Those rings that's normally on the bottom of the Rift Touch controllers, they're on top now. And from what I understand, if you go to give the thumbs up, you know, then your thumb hits that ring. So the ring is kind of in the way now that it's on top. The other thing that I'm concerned about is I think since it's built with an LCD panel, I hear the black's iron is rich. The black's iron is dark. They make it sound like it's almost like a charcoal, like a blackish gray. And the Rift S is 80 hertz versus the standard Rift being 90 hertz. So those three things were a concern to me. But hey, you know, I'm still thinking about that. And then with the Valve Index again, the whole bundle being $1,000 is a little bit, you know, is a little bit pricey. If it were a situation where I could use the Valve headset and, you know, and they would work with the Oculus Touch controllers, then I would be good with that. Then I would go back and consider getting the Valve Index. but that's just something I'm going to have to do research on, find out, what's being said. I thought about getting a Pimax 5K next year. No, we'll see how that plays out. I think there's the HP proverb. From what I understand, yo, what's up? I understand that's a VR. This was primarily used. This is going to be primarily used for businesses. You said 80 hertz is abominable. And then what other headset we got coming out? We got I think we got the Acer Oho or something like that. That's another headset that I don't know if it's coming out this year. And then I think the Vive Cosmos is supposed to be coming out this year. So yeah, a lot of headsets coming out this year. Watch Nintendo issue a license to shut down VR on other headsets. I pray not, but we know Nintendo. Too much money to be made out there. I mean, hell, Sony licensed the design of the PSVR 2 headset over to Lenovo. So Lenovo manufactured the Rift S, and I wouldn't be surprised if they manufacture the PSVR 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony outsources it to them. It says some PCs don't have the power to run games at 120 hertz. Yeah, that's another thing, Top Dog, that I forgot to mention about the Valve Index. That I guess 120 hertz is kind of like where it's meant to run at, but I guess they have an experimental 140 hertz mode. But I guess from what I heard about that, there's been some with that mode, it's like frame drops and screen tears. So that would probably be awful in VR. That might cause you to get motion sick like a motherfucker. So one second, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Christopher Hart, you said Sony wants to go wireless, but current wireless iterations work on a slow first-person shooter while playing VR games. Yeah, I'm still convinced that nothing's faster than a hard wire. So, but anyway, one of the solutions that I thought wireless counts the amount of processing power VR headsets have. So, what is being reported right now? I hope Sony figures out a solution. Yeah, so do I. Um, if Sony can figure out how to do wireless VR at affordable price, they would have a winner. Um, damn it. Hold on a second. Refresh this page. Okay, hopefully that worked. Well, I think the price of the VR, I think the price of the PlayStation VR is going to be $400. I guess whether Sony sells it at a price lower than that, to me, depends on how big of a splash they want to make on VR next generation. You know, if they got a mentality like Nintendo, they're gonna start out at $400 and it might not drop for a while. My bad, trying to kill two birds with one stone, trying to eat something a little bit. I'm not gonna be on very long. Um, because I need to get my push-ups in and then play Beat Saber or something like that to get my cardio in after that. But but I think what I'm thinking about doing is one of the good things about these new headsets coming out is that the current Oculus the current Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, they are going relatively cheap on eBay. And I saw a HTC Vive with the whole setup, you know, the lighthouses, um, the wands, the headsets, all that stuff, for $200, like $230. So I could go that route too. Thinking about, because if I remember correctly, you know, the picture on the HTC Vive is a little bit more clear than Oculus. So I was thinking about just seeing if I could use a HTC Vive headset and still use it with my touch controllers. So if I could do that, you know, hell, you know, I think I could live with that. Uncompetitive. I see a $1,000 PS5 PSVR 2 bundle. I disagree, because unless they throw in a bunch of games with it, I don't see that as some kind of savings, being that everybody's speculating that the PS5 is going to be $500, and me myself, I'm making a guess that PSVR 2 is going to be $400. So I think that I'm thinking you're looking at $900 for the PS5 and the PSVR for PSVR 2. Christopher Hart, you said if they can figure out how to do wireless VR with impressive frames and resolution, I'm all in. But for now, my wired headset is all I need. You know what else I'm hoping for, Christopher Hart? Um, I'm hoping that, you know, with this thing being wireless, I'm hoping that they'll give you a charging cable that runs to the PS5 that also acts as like your hardwired connection if you choose to go that route. It says you need Vive controllers for the Vive. I mean, yeah, and see that was the thing right there, uncompetitive, that um I can find a Vive cheap enough. I just don't like those controllers. Those controllers are shitty. So, like I said, I mean, the one time that I played a Vive over at my friend's place, everything worked good. I just felt like, you know, those controllers are like cumbersome. And George Bush, he said, you PS5 will be 600. You're an exec at Sony. Is that right? Well, I know for people that are bona fide ponies, they get a $100 discount. But yeah, I saw Vive, everything. You know, the lighthouses, the headset, the wands, everything you need for $230. So I might end up going that route and get a Vive off of eBay. And again, that's one of the good things this about these new headsets coming out now is because everybody that's trying to get rid of their Vive and Oculus is going to basically, you know, be blue lighting these things. So that might be one of my solutions right there, is to get a Vive and let the Oculus, Vive, and PSVR, let those three headsets hold me off until the PSVR 2 comes along. I know by the time the PSVR 2 gets here, it's definitely not going to be the strongest headset, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be the weakest either. I think it's going to be right there in the middle. I'm good with that. To catch a Vive for $230 on eBay, I can just buy it and be done with it. Whereas this new Valve Index, I could buy it outright, but it would put a little bit of a dent in me. And I don't want to put it on any plastic and be paying on this shit for the next year. Because as it stands, I'm going to be paying on that Alienware for a few months. Again, another situation where I could just pay it off outright, but it would put a dent in me. Because don't forget, I ended up paying about $2,000 for that Alienware. You said here's some forks and some plates. What's the my bad? Man, this Yeti picks up everything. My bad. Well, uncompetitive. I've been curious about the Vive, so I've been wanting to add another headset. So I'm good with picking up a Vive off of eBay and then just run with those three and until PSVR 2. And that's another thing. You know, I think some game Boneworks is supposed to like demonstrate um the capabilities of the Valve Index and the Valve Knuckle controllers. And it sounds to me like this game is what's going to usher in the next generation of VR. And that's another thing. I don't want to drop $1,000 on that Valve Index headset for a lot of these rinky-dink ass games that's out there right now. I love VR, but I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of indie rinky-dink games out there. I think in terms of the visuals and the quality and stuff, I think Valve Index will be a great headset for more games like Lone Echo, games that look phenomenal and that's really interactive. So, and then speaking on the topic of the PSVR 2, you know, I was really surprised that no one brought this up, but as some of you know, Sony has filed several patents for the PlayStation VR 2. And one of the patents that I found most interesting was it looks like you'll be able to connect two headsets to one console wirelessly. So that really got me to thinking, would it be possible to pop a 3D movie into the PS5 and that movie be displayed through both of those headsets simultaneously? Because the way things are right now, you could pop a 3D movie into the current PlayStation VR. I mean, into the current PlayStation and watch that movie in 3D. through the current PSVR headset. So I'm wondering, would two people be able to wear PSVR 2 headsets, pop a movie in, and they both be able to watch the movie in 3D simultaneously? I wonder if they'd be able to do that, because if they were able to do that, that would be actually a very innovative feature. Yeah, Christopher, heard that connecting two PSVR headsets to one console sounds flames. Yeah. Um, and if they integrate 3D movies with you and a friend with two headsets and also interact with that movie, yeah, that'd be some cold work. So, but yeah, shit. I mean, I got to get through. I'll probably buy a HTC Vive through eBay. I'll probably buy one here in the next week or two, because this week is actually expensive. I paid my rent yesterday, and then my birthday is on Saturday, so I got to renew the plates to my car and all that shit. So it's going to be a rather expensive week. So I probably need a week or two to recover from that, and then I think I'll go on eBay and look for an HTC Vive. I said I'm willing to pay up to $250 for one. Shit, I was watching a VR podcast with Sebastian of no, I don't, was it Sebastian? I know it was this guy Nathy. I know it was him. What's up, Jack Knife? There was Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis. There was him. There was yeah, I think Sebastian from Mixed Reality TV was there, and there was one more guy, the host. Whoever, I don't know who the host was, but whoever the host was, he had like a shelf that had all these cubby holes, and he must have had like shit. He must have had like 12 different VR headsets in there. Um, so he's a VR nut. Not only that, this is one time where I actually do wish my channel had like a 500,000 subscribers, because I am a little bit jealous that people like Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, as well as Nathy, they both got Oculus Rift S and Oculus Quest. They both it said, why would you risk buying something like that from eBay? I would check the seller's history. I'm not just gonna buy it off anybody. I'm gonna check the history. Not only that, I think the original HTC Vive might be discontinued, and I'm not gonna pay whatever the Vive Pro costs, because I don't know what it costs, but I hear it's expensive. Let me look it up real quick. I mean, shit, I got burnt by Amazon before. Like the current Oculus Rift that I have. If you want one of those, the only way you probably going to get it is through eBay, because they discontinued it. They didn't, but Oculus did a slick move by not telling anybody they were discontinuing the Oculus Rift, because if they would have did that, it would have brought the sales of the Rift to a screeching halt, where people would have waited for the Rift S and the Oculus Quest. All right, let's see how much is the HTC. Shit, that's crazy. The headset alone is $800, and the whole kit and caboodle is $1,400 at Best Buy. Shit. Yeah, I know. Top Dog. There's not much, much than the Rift, but I still want to get another headset anyway. That is crazy. Shit. For that whole setup, I'll fuck that. For that whole setup, I would end up going with the Valve Index. So in the standard HTC Vive, the whole setup for that at Best Buy is $500. Yeah, they charging like everybody got two. Can't order in Canada. That's unfortunate. DJ, what's up? George Bush, you said you'd like to experience VR. It is amazing. You know what? You can experience it because the Oculus Quest, from what I understand, the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S, that's what I meant to do today. I understand that they've got demos in there now. I don't know if the demos have gone live yet, but I do know that Best Buy, they do have demo units of the Quest and the Rift S, and basically they're going to be doing demonstrations leading up to the shipping date of the two Oculus headsets. Damn. Why, Nathan? How come you can't order in Canada? You said Vive Index or nothing. How come you can't order in Canada? I'd imagine anything, especially with these VR headsets, they want to reach out to as many people as possible. So I would be led to believe that anything that I can get here in America, you should be able to get in Canada. You just might have to pay a little bit. Hmm. Well, I forgot to mention that. If you're talking about the Vive Index, if you can't order a Vive Index, I don't know if it has any. I'm not sure it has anything to do about Canada because, according to Anthony of VR 365, the Valve Index is already sold out. So yeah, you're probably right about that. About a soft release, they probably only gonna let so many of them out there. That's another thing I could also do too. Maybe by this time next year, the Valve Index will be a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper. Oh, this was 1 minute after it was live. So that sounds like it. That sounds like what it was with you because Anthony of VR 365 said it sold out in minutes of going live. So to me, it sounds to me like you couldn't order one more less because they were sold out versus you being in Canada. George Bush, he said you'd be right back. Go to check out some of this Boneworks VR gameplay. I think that's supposed to be one of the games that this Boneworks. I think that's one of the games that's featured for the Valve Index and what you can do with the the knuckle controllers. Oh, it said not available in your country. Maybe that's something that I don't know. I'm assuming that Valve probably expects the United States and Europe probably to be their biggest markets. Maybe it's something they'll become available somewhere down the line. What about a PlayStation VR? Can you get one of those? I don't think I've seen Stormlands, Christopher Hart, but I have heard that it's just a minute. Let me have a look at it. Okay, give me a second, folks. I'm having a look at this Stormlands. I'm also a little bit curious about Asgard's Wrath. One thing about these robot arms, they're definitely detailed in VR. Doesn't, you know? Yeah, this is Mike of Virtual Reality Oasis trying out Stormlands. Um, Looks interesting. And this was back September. I'll check it out some more. Nah, man, Index or nothing, bro. Okay. You saying that as far as VR headsets go, are you saying that that that's basically all you want is the Valve Index or nothing? And Chris Carter, you said you was able to get one 16 minutes after it went live. Man, $1,000 for man, woo, that's a lot of dough. Like I said, especially after I dropped 2,000 on that Alienware PC. PLO, what's up? Okay, Nathan, you got you all right. You hell bent on getting the index. It's either that or nothing. Okay, I got you. And George Bush, you said I already know I will be too lazy for VR. No, George Bush, there's a lot of games that you can sit down and play. Um, Shit, like at the end of the night when I'm ready to, unwind and relax, I play Poker Stars VR, and I play that sitting down. I grab one of my folding chairs that's got a cup holder in it, grab an ice cold glass of guava juice and ginger ale, and I sit at the table and play Poker Stars VR. I can sit down playing that game. There's a lot of games you can sit down and play. So yeah, you can still get heavily immersed in VR and don't have to stand up. Nathan, you said Canada money worthless. U.S. money is like, what time would you like your breakfast, sir? uh, Red Ranger, you said you glad we're not talking about that Days trash anymore. I personally think it's a good game. Everybody feels how they feel about it. Christopher Hart, you said the Persistence, which I did buy that. I caught it on sale. I might go back and start playing that because I'm not gonna lie. With me playing Lone Echo, two things happened that like really messed me up. One was I was playing Lone Echo when I had that CyberPower PC. When I was streaming those Lone Echo episodes, I probably got about 65% through the game. And then when that CyberPower PC took a dump on me and I had to get that Alienware PC, I had to start all over again, and I don't feel like starting all over again. Not only that, there was a spot that I was stuck at, and I'm not gonna lie, I took a peek on how to get through it. And in the process of getting through it, it kind of revealed the rest of the ending. So no, I'm pretty much probably not gonna finish Lone Echo right now. I'm not even sure I'm gonna finish Days Gone because we got some good games coming up this month for VR. We got Everybody's Golf, which if that game turns out to be multiplayer, it said Index has a tool to check if your PC is ready. Yeah, I saw that. You know, the minimal, the requirements are minimal. You only need for the Valve Index, you only need 8 gigs of RAM, and I think as far as graphic cards goes, you need something like a 950 or something like that. So to get in, the requirements aren't very high. So yeah, my PC would be able to handle a Valve Index. So Red Ranger, you sold your weak ass PS4. You must be an Xbot through and through. So it must be painful to watch all these amazing PS4 games um continue to perform phenomenally. Nathan, you said also the frame rate 140 hertz. Now, from what I understand, the Valve Index, that's like it says it's an experimental 140 hertz. I guess at that rate, I guess Anthony of VR 365 said that he has heard that frame rates will drop and screen tearing happens. What's up, Homer Simpson? An index allows you 140 frames per second, so you can have super smooth experience. It feels much better without smearing. Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to wait and see what comes out. George Bush, Xbox for life. You said Tested talks about it. Damn. And Nathan, you said you don't have any other headsets right now, and you dead set on getting the Valve Index. He said, sorry to hear about that, George. Sounds like cancer. So no, I do have Oculus only because it was free. Hey, shit, that's the best price. Shit, I'm more than happy with my Oculus Rift. I've got 3 sensors, 2 in the front and 1 behind me. Homer Simpson, I question gamers that I know what you're trying to see that don't own an Xbox One X. For what? I mean, how many times has that debate gone down that you paid $100 for a third party console that only looks a micro hair better than what you're getting on the PlayStation Pro? For me, it doesn't make sense to own one. I got my son one because I'm not, he's a kid, and at least not yet, I'm not gonna, involve him in this kind of shit. No, we're not getting that because it costs more and this and that and that and this. When he gets old enough that it's time for him to start thinking about a job and that kind of stuff. Jamal Adams, what is up? I mean, I mean, Homer, George Bush, Red Ranger. Did y'all buy the Xbox One X to play Super Lucky's Tale or Sea of Thieves or State of Decay? I mean, because those are some of the featured Xbox exclusives that you get for your $500. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, um, I see you, George. You said I enjoy the X's. Xbox is all I play on, and it was worth it for me going to the original to the X. Okay, I mean I get that. To me, it wasn't worth it to me. Again, I bought my son one. I upgraded from the original Xbox One to the Xbox One S, which I'm suffering buyer's remorse, of wishing I never bought that shit. But I call myself wanting to be able to game in some kind of 4K. But some of those games don't look that good. So the Xbox is a lackluster console at best this generation. I agree. So the only way I would have been remotely interested in the Xbox One X is if they would have followed through with that partnership they had with Oculus to bring high fidelity VR to the platform. And since that never materialized, there was no reason for me to buy the Xbox One X. Just the way I see that there's no reason for me to get Anaconda whenever that comes out. Um, Even if Microsoft does have compelling exclusives, these games are probably still going to be available on PC. So getting Anaconda makes absolutely no sense. Hey, Homer Simpson, I agree with him. I think the Xbox One X is lackluster. And I think at this late in the generation, with the Xbox One X being a third party console, and we're nearing the end of the generation, I feel like $350 should be the base price of the Xbox One X. I think that shit still costing $500 is absolutely insane. So the big question is let's say the PS5 comes out first, comes out before Anaconda, and the PS5 launches at $400. What is Microsoft going to do about the Xbox One X? If that should happen? If the PS5 launches at $400, the only way you can make the Xbox One X more enticing than the PS5, in my opinion, was you'd have to knock it down to a minimum of $300. I mean, a maximum. Christopher R., you said Xbox can't handle the fact that Xbox raped their pockets this gen and gave them no games. I agree 100%. You said Halo Infinite about to crush all your. Hey, wait a minute. First of all, Homer, you better be certain that Halo Infinite will be available on consoles and don't wind up somewhere like Dave and Buster's, because it seemed like everybody getting exclusives except Xbox people. PC people getting Gears Tactics, mobiles getting Gears Pop. Um, some of these rinky-dink games are coming to mobile, Miami Streets, and a couple of other rinky-dink games. Age of Empires is PC. Oh, let me refresh this page again. Actually, I'll just go to another page. Give me a second, y'all. See if that works. Y'all still with me? That could be That could be Comcast pulling some bullshit, throttling my connection. All right. So again, for you guys that bought Xbox One X's over the past 2 years, you guys have gotten Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, um, Super Lucky's Tale, Cuphead, um, Forza Horizon 4, which I'm not into arcade racers. Forza 7, I admit, is a good looking game too, but they race too dirty on that shit. I just don't like Forza anymore. Um, and I don't know. Serious is great. They'll pay these Xbox dudes any mind. They can clear their own suicide watch, cuz Days Gone selling well despite the Metacritic scores. Oh shit, it knocked Mortal Kombat off the top spot in the UK. I don't know if it was clickbait or not, but I think I had saw something. Might have been somebody, the headline of somebody's video that where Sony had already said that Days Gone was going to get a sequel. Super lucky take. You know what? I do have Lucky's Tale on the Oculus, and to me, it's a lot. It's got some similarities to Moss. It's a platformer, like Moss and an Astrobot. It's okay. Nothing that I would do a backflip about, but as far as that game goes, it wasn't the trash like I thought it was. But Super Lucky's Tale, fuck no. George Bush, you need that new Mortal Kombat in Dead or Alive. I don't really got no interest in them. I don't. Yeah, I know I'm mostly VR now, so I mean that's the biggest reason why I'm not interested in a lot of flat screen games. But with these third party games, that's getting to be the norm where these games release uh, unfinished, but still find a way to work those economies in so you can pay for microtransactions in order to survive in the world that they laid out for you. George Bush, you said, I don't think Lucky's Tale was that bad. No, the VR part of it, because you got Lucky's Tale on the Oculus and you got Super Lucky's Tale on the Xbox. Now, I thought that Super Lucky's Tale was trash. And so I was under the same impression that Lucky's Tale would be trash on the Oculus. But I figured, hey, it was a free game that came with Oculus. It couldn't hurt to take a look at it. And after playing it, no, it's not bad. It's not a bad game, but it don't light the world on fire either. It's just there. And so if I have minimal interest in playing Lucky's Tale in VR, then I have zero interest in playing Super Lucky's Tale. So I'm not going to go in on Super Lucky's Tale the way I was in the beginning and say, "Oh, it's trash. Oh, it's trash. Oh, it's trash." But I will say that I have no interest in playing it, and I still think that was garbage that Microsoft marketed Super Lucky's Tale as a reason why you should buy the Xbox One X. When you got a good looking indie game. You said if all I had was Super Lucky's Tales, a notable platform game on my console, I would be pissed too. Sony has Ratchet and Clank, Dreams, and Astrobot. You know, once again, this is another year where Sony is pumping out a lot of shit. Um, I wanted to jump on that Dreams early access. Of course not. Of course not. I'm not blocking Chris. Um he's the one guy he's the one guy that shows up to every podcast I do. I mean, if you feel that strongly about him, Homer Simpson, you should be able to go into the chats and I think block him yourself. Yeah, you should be able to block him yourself. And none of the stuff he says will show up in the chat. At least it won't show up on your end. It'll still show up on my end though. But no, he's definitely the one person that comes to every one of my podcasts. So no, no, no. Roblox is the best. You know, George Bush, my son found Roblox in VR, so he was playing that for a few hours a couple of weeks ago. We also found Minecraft in VR, which is also free. Both Roblox and Minecraft in VR were free games. Which I have no interest in playing Minecraft on any format, VR or flat screen. Um, the Roblox in VR, under the right circumstances, I would take a look at it because because of the mods and shit like that, all the different shit that's in there. Because even though Roblox is an old game, there's still a ton of shit in there. Excuse me. So I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up in a few minutes here, so I can get my push-ups in, and then move on to. I'll probably end up moving on to Beat Saber to get my cardio in because this late in the evening it's gonna be tough to find a fight on Creed. So plus I want to take a look at looking for some more games because that's the one thing about Steam with all those damn games there. I'm checking every day, always looking for something new. So I bet you VR gamers probably have the highest attach rate of any gamers. They probably own more games than anybody. George Bush, I need to try Minecraft with Game Pass. It don't look interesting, but I just need to give it a try. Hey, I mean, I'm not gonna knock you for trying it. I just don't have any interest in it. Never have. I mean, Minecraft was that game that was taking kids by storm the same way Fortnite did. Crap Gamer turned his back on y'all. Don't worry, he'll be back. He's a fraud. Same thing with Muscle Bound Gamer. He'll come home sooner or later. So I mean, y'all got a couple of frauds over there, just acting like they own this pony shit for clicks and views. They'll be back. Just leave the door unlocked. Crap Gamer will be home sooner or later. What we got? What do we got for PlayStation Plus for the month of May? Ugh. The original Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, nothing that I'm interested in. You said muscle bound gamer doesn't seem to be going back. He'll go back. Like I said, he just finishing out. I think he's just finishing out the generation on the PlayStation side. I think once the next generation starts and the score is 0-0 because it's a new generation, then he'll be jumping back over to the Xbox side. George Bush, you say you glad Craps left? You've been waiting for him to leave? For as much as Crap is a clickbaiter, for some of the lies that he's told, and for that perceived toxic persona of his, he might have been the biggest representative of the Xbox community. Like it or not, this whole generation, Crap Gamer might have been the face of Xbox in terms of YouTubers. He's praised Xbox over the most dumbest shit. George Bush, you said Games with Gold is so horrible. Xbox didn't even post them on the YouTube page. How could you guys not see that coming? Now that Game Pass is the featured service on the Xbox platform, that will, what's the word? It would be detrimental to Game Pass if they gave you good games with gold. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, as long as Game Pass is out there, since that's supposed to be the featured service, they always, of course, they're going to water down games with gold to make you see that the better games are on Game Pass. You said that's why his betrayal of the Xbox is the worst. Yeah. I think he was just live a little while ago. This is great. You said you noticed that too. It's all over the web. Said you ponies can eat all the crow you want. No, ponies aren't eating crow. They are enjoying amazing games. A lot of people on the PlayStation is too caught up playing their games to get caught up in this so-called console war that ended a long time ago. I mean, Phil Spencer already surrendered, but y'all still out there fighting. I mean, Phil Spencer already retreated to his underground base, buried deep, 2 miles beneath the surface under a mountain. You're right, uncompetitive. I mean, I know Homer Simpson in here clowning, but hey, um, I'm good with that. They like he ain't coming in here, saying anything racist or nothing like that. So no, I ain't gonna just like get rid of somebody just because they say stuff about the Xbox. I mean, that's their preference. So, and I'll even let a little bit of trolling go like I said, as long as as long as it don't get racist and that kind of shit, so like that one troll, that Phil Spencer troll, I thought he was funny. Whenever he came in there, I welcomed him to the channel. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Christopher Hartfield is taken to his safe bunker away from all the bots complaining. To me, he's in the shit that's happened over the last couple of years, he's the biggest reason for it. He's the one that tried to brainwash all the Xbots into believing that single player games no longer matter, and multiplayer games is where it's at, and all this kind of shit. And and I said it before, the bots were watching all these Sony people get full off of eating these amazing games. So now instead of turning around and asking Phil for some great games, they point the finger at Sony, talking about they anti-consumer. I mean, I don't know. It's nuts. George Bush, he said, I had to stop watching roundtable podcasts. There's too much Xbox hate. As an Xbox, it's hard to enjoy. Shout out to the panel though. Well, I'll tell you this, George Bush. The Xbox as a console, the hardware itself, I have nothing against the console itself. I do not like Microsoft as a company. I have high disdain for them as a company. I do not like them whatsoever. I do not care for the direction that they have gone in. I would probably say that the stuff that you hear on the roundtable is what you used to hear coming out of me. Because you go back and, to my past streams and shit like that, I used to be banging on Microsoft pretty tough. The biggest reason I don't say that much about Microsoft anymore is because I'm enjoying myself with these VR games. I mean, I'm almost oblivious to Microsoft's existence out there right now. I almost don't even know they exist anymore. I'm having a wonderful time with these VR games. The round table has no direction. The round table is a mix of personalities. The round table continues to grow. And every time we do a podcast, I think we have, anywhere from, 50 to 80 people watching at any given moment. Impatient Fire, what's up? I mean, I think I said what's up to you, but if I didn't, what's going on? Hey, but Homer Simpson, um, so to speak, Friday night on the round table is open mic night. So if you ever want to come in there and throw blows with the panel, Thrash, he'll always send you a link if you want to get in there and throw hands with him. You said that's how you feel about Nintendo. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I like only game that I have some kind of interest in on Nintendo is Smash Brothers. Not enough for me to run out and buy a Switch. I would just play it on my son's Switch. You say he's a stone cold play hater. I don't know about. I doubt that George Bush because Thrash he'll go in. He going in on PC cats. He going in on PC cats. Um, he actually gives Nintendo some praise with the Labo because even though a lot of people think that cardboard is ridiculous, he still believes that it's innovative on their part and that it's going to do well. Um, he'll go in on Sony whatever they fuck up, but that's just the facts though. Sony doesn't fuck up near as much as Microsoft does. I mean, over the last 6 months, over the past year, the only thing people could really criticize Sony for was this censorship shit about an ass crack getting blurred out. These damn puddles on the puddle gate shit. That the best they could come up with? To bring on Sony about? But here come Microsoft jumping out with an all digital Xbox where they removed the part but didn't but the price didn't reflect it. So you bet Chris sleeps with his PS4 at night. Hell, I might sleep with my VR headset on at night. Shit. So before I get ready to get on out of here, let me check M4G real quick. Damn, another Days Gone update. Oh shit. Here's the title. It says Mad Box investors pulling out after Google Stadia announcement. Ooh shit. Ooh, that Mad Box might not materialize now. Here's another interesting title right here. It says Days Gone isn't great, but Sony was absolutely right to take a risk with it. That's the big thing right there. Sony is willing to take chances on new IPs. Microsoft don't take any chances. Forza, Halo, Gears, over and over again. Impatient Fire, you said you slept many times with your PSVR headset on before. Xbots and crap gamers chat still think Halo is bigger than The Last of Us. Well, of course they're gonna think that way. They think State of Decay for all its bugs and stuff like that is an amazing game. You love your huge poster of Uncle Phil. All right. Ooh, right here. Here's a review. Days Gone got an 8.8. Hmm. Let's see how my son feels about that. Counter Strike Global Offensive's Battle Royale mode now has respawns in a ping system too. I didn't know they had a Battle Royale mode. My son plays that sometimes on PC. And then I'm sure some of you guys heard about that latest move that Epic pulled, where they bought the developer of Rocket League, and now they're going to pull the game from Steam. So that was a wee. The one named Shadow, what's up? So yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. Like I said, I gotta get at these push-ups. Epic, some cold-hearted bastards. Yeah, these motherfuckers. Ooh, they playing. I want to say they're playing dirty, but it's hard for me to say that because I mean, didn't didn't Microsoft pull some tactics during the 360 generation, um, where they would have exclusive DLC, or they would have time DLC? What's up, Ben? I mean, that's yeah. Uncompetitive is getting cutthroat out there. That's just the belly of the beast. Um, do I condone what Epic is doing? I can't really say, you know, no, I don't condone what they're doing, but at the same time, I can't really jump on their heads about it because that's just the way it is. I mean, hell, even this generation over the last couple of years, Microsoft has been criticized that if you're not going to come out with any new compelling games, at least try to secure some of these games. Um, on a time exclusive. Do whatever you got to do to make the Xbox more attractive. So it is what it is. I mean, so what Epic Games is doing, do I condone it? No, but I'm not gonna blast them for it either. I mean, if Epic keeps doing what it's doing, sooner or later Steam is gonna have to respond. You said Sony is dirty as hell for that Street Fighter and Spider-Man move. Hey, you can say that now, like the Street Fighter, say what you want about that. I'm not gonna argue with that, but the Spider-Man thing, why are people just now crying about the Spider-Man thing now? They should have been crying about it. If they feel that way about it, they should have been crying about it the minute Sony bought Spider-Man rights from Marvel. Because how could you not see a Spider-Man game coming at some point? And truth be told, George Bush, if that Spider-Man game would have been absolutely trash, nobody would be saying that Sony was dirty as hell for doing that. Nobody would care about that shit. Everybody crying because that Spider-Man game is amazing and is not on their preferred platform. Shit, you want to play Spider-Man? All you gotta do is buy a PS4. These days, you can, whether you catch it on sale or Craigslist or whatever, you can catch one for $200 easy. Patient fire. You said $200 PS4 plus The Last of Us 2 will destroy this holiday if Sony managed to get them out. Well, I guess the latest rumor, I guess, is claiming that the Last of Us 2 will come out this year. He said, "I don't care about Spider-Man, but that Street Fighter move was messed up." Hey, but nobody said anything about Microsoft making it pulling that move with Tomb Raider. What's funny is how Xbox gamers keep complaining, saying Spider-Man is not a great game. My honest opinion, Christopher Hart, I think if Spider-Man was a third-party game, I don't think I don't think the Xbox would buy it. But I think they would want bragging rights if it looked better on the Xbox One X. I think that would be their only bragging rights. I don't think they would buy the game. I think they would just brag that Spider-Man looks better on the Xbox One X. I mean, y'all tell me, What what game on the Xbox platform over the last couple of years is like sold like hotcakes? That you know, and speaking of selling like hotcakes, that tells you another thing about Days Gone. You have a Sony exclusive that is outpacing Mortal Kombat, which is a third-party game that's available on 3 platforms, I believe. That's available on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the Switch. And you got Days Gone outpacing all of them put together. That tells you something about that game. And I mean, with y'all Xbox, y'all hopes and dreams is with third-party games. I mean, that was the acting like Red Dead Redemption 2 was an Xbox exclusive had to give me my biggest laugh of 2018. Nah, they ain't getting no Persona 5. So that's gonna I think that's gonna do it for me. Like I said, I said that shit 15 minutes ago, whatever. I need to get it, I need to get to these push-ups. I'm dragging my fucking feet because y'all dudes is killing me going back and forth with this Xbox shit. But I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. And as far as this VR stuff goes, right now, I think that's probably going to be my next move is to get a HTC Vive. You know, and I do realize getting an HTC Vive off of eBay could be a risky move, but I think $200 versus $500, I might go ahead and take that risk. You know, especially when I do the research on the sellers. Impatient Fire. Hey, thanks a lot. Great podcast. I'm glad I managed to catch it. You know what? Before I go, I also want to let everybody know that I plan to get in touch with Joystick Guru and Gamertag VR and see if they want to get together with me this Saturday and do a podcast and talk about um, the information we have now on the 2 Oculus headsets as well as the Valve Index. Um, get their thoughts on this stuff, so I'll reach out to them tomorrow and see if they're available. So keep your eyes open for that. If we can make it happen, we'll do you said you might buy a used HTC Vive too. Yeah, exactly. Because I do want another headset. Shit, I wouldn't care if I had 4 or 5 headsets. Um, I just feel like right now the games that I'm seeing, other than that Boneworks, I don't know if that justifies dropping $1,000 for that Valve Index. Yeah, I realize that uncompetitive, but again, that's where I'm gonna take a look at I'm gonna keep my eye on their history, on their sales history. You said they could have dropped it and the lens could be misplaced. I get all that, and that's why I'm not just going to jump up and just buy the first one I see. I'm going to look at the price. I'm going to look at the seller's history because people who try to make a living off of eBay, their seller history, their reputation is everything to them. A bad reputation, makes all the difference. Now if I go in there and I try to buy a HTC Vive from a seller who's only sold 2 or 3 items, then yeah, I'd be taking a big risk. But if I go buy one from somebody who sold well over 1,000 items on eBay and they've got a good seller rating, then yeah, I think then I'd be willing to take a chance on it. George Bush, you said I can always use a Saturday podcast while at the gym. Well, yeah, George Bush, there's no question I'm going to do a podcast on Saturday. It's just with this one, I'm going to try to get Gamertag VR and Joystick Guru, try to get them both on at the same time, so we can talk about, the Valve Index, the two Oculus headsets. I want to talk to them about what games they might be getting this year, because we do have a lot of great VR games coming this year, and I mean, like, with the biggest one being at the end of this month, with Blood and Truth. I mean, that just looks action packed. That game looks action packed. I cannot wait for that game. And if everybody's golf, at the PlayStation Store, it says that it's a single player game, but people are saying that it's supposed to be multiplayer as well. If it's a multiplayer game, then I'm going to pick it up, even though it looks slightly arcadey. Even if it looks slightly arcadey, it's still going to be the best looking and probably the most realistic golf game that we're going to get in VR. So if it's a multiplayer game, then I'm definitely going to pick it up. If it's multiplayer, I'm going to pick it up day one. I'm going to get, Days Gone is not Days Gone, but Blood and Truth is a day one purchase. I'm also going to get Five Nights at Freddy's VR because my son wants it. He claims he's not going to be scared, so we'll see about that. But you're going to go out and get some dinner. All right, George Bush, we'll catch you later. Thanks for popping in. Same thing, Christopher Hart, Impatient Fire. Sarah's is great. Appreciate all of y'all popping in. Jamal Adams, everybody. I appreciate it. Uncompetitive. Homer Simpson, all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all popping in here. Said just be careful who you buy from, with items especially. Yeah, again, I get what y'all saying right there. But I would probably be willing to take a chance on buying something for $200 versus paying $500 for it. And I do think that PayPal protects you as well. So I have to look into all of that stuff. So I'm not going to be running in blind, whenever I go to get this headset. I'm going to do some legwork and do some research and all that kind of stuff, and get a feel for the seller's background. So, I'm not just going to be running in blind. But I will catch y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Give it a like, all that good stuff. Share, comment, and let me see. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, let me spend about a half an hour knocking out these push-ups, and then I think from there I'll come back and do a Beat Saber stream, and then from there, I don't know, I might close the night out with Poker Stars VR on Oculus. So there you go, Impatient Fire. I appreciate that. I'll take a chance too with Use Vive, and I'll be very careful. There you go. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for me. Thanks for tuning in. I will holler at y'all in a little bit.